this thing. Room at the table.
Yeah.
Come on, this list. Come prepared. Hi, Andrew. Oh, good. How are you doing? Having a good summer? Very good.
Do you guys have me?
All right, so Human Relations Committee. We have a lot of letters, but just 9 numbers. So number 1, professional substitutes. You can read the long list of names there.
Positive.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very difficult to find.
Yeah.
Always.
So that's consensus, right?
I would assume.
Do they have to do this every time? I feel like they do.
Approve
Yeah, I
subs.
do.
Because I see the same ones.
They have to reapply every time.
Okay.
Okay, number 2, resignations. Questions on that? Okay, consent. Number 3, superintendent appointment. Questions, consent?
What's the salary on that?
The starting salary for year 1 is $135,000.
Is there an increase, a percentage of increase per year for the 5-year contract?
Per year, but we're still negotiating that. I don't want to say.
Okay, so the per year is still
I
negotiable.
don't want to say, and all increases are tied to performance. So, but again,
Which is done by the board?
yes, that's the school code. But again, the 135 is subject to negotiations. So it can change tonight, it could change tomorrow. So I think.
This is your negotiating.
I would stick to next Tuesday night's agenda. when-
Right, it'll have a number on there as how much.
Next Tuesday, yeah, it's an open document, it's a public document.
Will we have a copy of that available at that meeting?
You can request one after the meeting, but I can't give you one because it's not approved yet.
Right,
So
but after the approval, is it going to be?
After Wednesday, you could request one.
How many candidates did we have?
20, well, there were approximately 20, it was on this press release,
I thought it says 27.
26.
Did any of the candidates, were they superintendents anywhere else?
I'm not going to comment on any of it because I don't think it's fair to them to put their names out there or their positions. I don't think it's fair to them.
Are you gonna put out like what the requirements were, what you looked at, how you decided to weed out through things, what you were looking for, so we can kind of.
We can
That was in
get,
the press release.
it's in a press release and the job description is open to view. But we're not going to reveal any questions that were asked of any candidates, that is confidential. But you are privy to the job description of the superintendent. And his contract after it's done.
Okay, number 4, approve following employments pending completion of pre-employment requirements.
There are still a couple of positions in EBD. We are in the process of either still looking for candidates, 2 interviewing, or 3 interviews have been completed, and we are doing final reference background checks. One of those, our goal is to have as many of these as possible. As you could see on the second page, Where we are hurting a little bit is in the maintenance custodial area. Mason and his group are doing as best they can. They're coming in and they guarantee that the buildings will be ready. They're doing a heck of a job shorthanded.
Are there any responses to my emails for number F? I did ask for some
Megan
clarification.
F.
Number F, letter F.
Letter F,
That's Megan.
yeah, I asked.
Oh,
I sent it to Nate and Rachel and Glenn and John and
Yep.
Mr. Corby.
we had a social worker before. We know we do not have a social worker this year.
So she's the social worker.
She will take some of the responsibilities of the social worker. From grade 6 through grade 12, we have approximately 1,400 students. This will give us 4 guidance counselors. If you do the math, that's one guidance counselor for approximately 350 students. I don't think that's, in my personal opinion, that's not too much. So this person will take on added responsibilities. Now we are getting kids the individual attention that some may need with the social workers, so that's the primary reasons.
Okay, and what does that do for the current current counselors, because they have specific ones in the high school from a specific letter to a specific letter? Like, what does that look like for everybody else? So these kids have pretty much gone from one counselor from 6th to 7th grade, 8th grade, and are now flipping to another counselor in 9th to 12th, and typically hold that counselor all the way through to 12th grade so that they can better be able to help them for the year coming and for graduation. So that was kind of my question on where that was going.
I'm not backing out, but I think Brad can
Yeah,
give you a little.
everything you said is accurate
Mhm.
in that everything from 10 to 12 will remain the same. Letter-wise, the split,
10 to 12 or
10 to
9 to 12?
no, 10 to 12 will remain the same as it is now. The change is 8 to 9 and 6 to 7.
So when are you going to let parents know that their counselors have changed with the incoming freshmen?
I'm not sure that I follow. The counselor would be the same as the person they had in 8th grade.
No. So Mrs.
Wait,
Schaefer
Doc,
is
you
still an
can't
8th.
say no if you don't.
Well, I'm saying, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, Mrs. Schaefer then is now following my daughter Cameron to 9th grade.
That is accurate.
And that's for every 8th grader.
That is
What
accurate.
whoever they had in 8th grade is now connecting. So this person is now getting whom? Like how is that? I'm just trying to figure out how that goes into play, because one, I have a freshman, one I have a senior. So I'm trying to
Senior,
figure
no
out.
change.
Well, okay.
The freshman change is that it wouldn't be who you might have thought it was going to be going into the year, but it is who she had in 8th grade. And that would be the same for all 8th graders.
And then it flips in 10th grade.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Consent? Okay, number 5, grant tenure to the following teachers on following dates.
This is just an informational item. In the state of Pennsylvania, you don't really even have to vote on this. You just have to recognize that they have completed the 3 years of satisfactory rating in our school district.
Number 6, grant authorization to Mr. Corby to fill open positions prior to September's board meeting and to be ratified at the September board meeting.
I think this was a normal way of doing things in the past, and especially at the beginning of the year, this is vital to be able to do this. If we get people that they can, because if we wait until September, if they're coming from another school district, that other school district can hold them for 60 days. Now we're talking September, October, November. So I think it's best to do this to get the kids the teacher ASAP.
7, appoint Leanne Martin as the right-to-know officer. Consent. Number 8, administration recommends approval of the termination of Shirley Warner, custodian, effective August 14th, 2019. So, and number 9, information. 2019-20 staff listing provided to board members, highlighting transfers for the year. Brian Kuntz will be interning for principal hours in the fall of 2019.
I recommend that we put B on for a formal approval. If we are, he has all his clearances, he's going to be doing an internship for his hours to get certification as a principal. I think if he is working with the high school administration at minimum, maybe that we put him on this as recognizing to approve, to allow him to be an intern working in our district. I think it's clean.
So that's it for HR.
Are you guys gonna put on there redo the vote for Mr. Corby's position since there was no public comment beforehand? That way it'll legitimize his position.
According to Brooke, when I was questioned by folks, that was considered public comment.
That was after the vote, though. Public comment's supposed to be before the vote on the voting options.
We could make it, she said, if necessary, we can put it on the next Tuesday's agenda to make it clear.
Yeah, that's all. That way it legitimizes everything.
We could, okay, yeah. No, we recognized, Amy recognized it, so we'll make it right.
She recognized it there.
Yeah, we get it, we just put it on so
That's
everybody
okay.
knows that there was just a mistake and it's all cool.
No
Yep.
problem, no, I understood.
Oh, it's okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I sent some right to knows. I don't know if they're being handled right or not. We requested the evaluation of the principal and assistant principal, or
Superintendent,
yeah.
Ed
And we were denied, and then we were given it.
I don't think you were given,
No, we
you
wanted-
were referred to the webpage that said that they were both rated satisfactory.
Right, that's all we wanted.
But we
We were
couldn't,
denied because it's not our information that we got.
evaluations, I guess we were needing was the specific instrument and how it was scored and all those types of
It's
things.
just published.
We can't give that up, but we can give the overall rating.
Well, I know that, but Ed was put out there, all his objectives for the year, and he got a satisfactory or whatever.
By law,
Nothing was, of Eric's was published.
by law on the webpage, by school code.
Right, you have to make it display, right, I get that.
Yeah.
But what
Then,
he's saying is that Eric's wasn't put out there.
No, it's not
Ed's
that, we were
What
denied
he's
it,
saying is
and
they were
then it was
just-
published, like, and then she was given it, like,
They were denied as it wasn't a right to know, and then it was published on the website
Exactly.
for everyone. So
all
it's a,
information we're allowed to get.
why is it published on the website as information for everyone to see if we're not allowed to see it
I
right
guess
to
the
know?
denial from the solicitor was that,
It was denied through the right to know law because the personnel, right to know law has an exemption that we don't need to give it to the right to know law. However, it is law that we put on the website. So that's why it was handled that way, just to make.
that was.
How about like all the pesticides and all the chemicals that are stored on the facility? In your policies, it states you have to keep a log of all that stuff. I did a right to know on that, I don't get it.
You were given the option to purchase it. We have paper copies of it, and you may purchase it, but you need to pay for it.
Well, then I'll pay.
Okay.
What about all the other ones?
I don't believe.
Eric's objectives, and all that stuff. I mean, I have a list.
I mean, if you want to
Deny
go outside and
every
talk
one.
about each and every one of these, I will be happy to do that, or if you'd like to meet me at some point to discuss them, I will.
Sure.
But I mean, I think I believe I've answered every right to know that you've submitted.
No. You've ignored a lot of them.
Carla, I don't think that's a factual statement.
Okay. I noted.
Well, we'll look up and it's on tape, and if they're not there, they're not there. If they are, then we will follow up. If they're not there, then we've got to follow through with comment.
Thank you.
Okay.